Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for June 20th, 2025. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. Okay, we're going to do a geometry pass real quick here. I'm going to mark that we have 3 in one of these two. It's an important mark because it's going to remind us to look for 3 in this row. There's still 3 places for it, but that can change. Otherwise, 3, 6 doesn't seem to... Actually, I'm seeing this 6 look down and this 6 look into this box. That does place this 6. I should say more often I don't see more because then I immediately see something else. I'm just following up on this 6 in case it does more. Does not... well, we have these 6s here as well. It places this 6, which then places this 6. How are we doing on 6s? So, yeah, we've got kind of an L shape. Your typical... Hold on. Oh, no, never mind. Hold on. I knew there was something off about what I was doing. Okay, these 6s look in placing this 6. These 6s look in placing this 6. And then we should be able to place the last one. There we go. Yeah. Cool. 6s are done. We are 1/9 through the puzzle. That's how that works, right? I think it might be. I'm 1 minute in. 10 minutes is kind of par. All right. 3, 6. This 4 looking down does something interesting now, which is putting a 4 in one of these two. All I'm doing with corner marks is I'm saying within the box, that's where that digit can still go. So we know that one of these 2 cells is going to end up a 4 in our solution. We don't know which one, but whichever one it is, it's also going to be the 4 for row 9. And this is called pointing, because we kind of draw a line between them. They point at the rest of the row saying, hey, you can't actually be 4. You thought you could, but you can't because I'm 4. So that does leave 4, or sorry, that takes 4 out of all of these, but I'm not really seeing a good way to follow up on that right now. Okay, so we won't at the moment. All right. Any other like interesting geometry here in this area that I'm looking? I will say we have these 3s looking in, which again is interesting because we want to pay attention to where 3 can go in this column. And again, there's 3 places, so can't quite do anything yet. Let's move on to, this box here. We have both the 5 and the 1 looking into it, and we need a 5 and a 1 in the box. And so this ends up being what's called a hidden pair. Excuse me. What do hidden pairs do? Well, let's talk about the specific logic that we're using here. We need to, every row column box needs all the digits 1 to 9. So this box does need to place a 1 and it needs to place a 5. Where's it going to put them? Well, the 1 can be in one of these 2 and the 5 can be one of these 2. And that's it. So if one of these is a 5, sorry, one of these is a 1 and the other is a 5, there's no room for anything else, right? We can't put both 1 and 5 in the same cell. So if there's not room for anything else, what we've done is we've evicted, we've eliminated anything else we thought could be there. And specifically, that's going to be the 2 and the 4, right? These can't be 2 and 4 anymore. And so if we think about where 4 can go in this box, it can't be where this 1, 5 have to go. It would crowd out either the 1 or the 5, so it can't go there because of our hidden pair. And so this is the only place for 4, and now this is the only place for 2 in the box. Very nice. This column has been reduced to 3 digits. If I see a row column box down to 3 open cells, usually good to just like quickly pencil it because sometimes it's restricted even more than that. There's a good chance. We need 3, 8, 9. So what I'm seeing is that this can't be 8, this can't be 9. That's all I'm seeing. So I'm just going to write out 3, 8, 9 and clear those out. Okay, cool. Is there anything with this box that's interesting? My eye immediately goes here because that would limit digits out of these 2 cells. And so the 2 is limited, actually. The 2 is limited to the same place as the 3. This 2 looks up, this 2 looks in. And so 2 is up here. Now, what these corner marks have told us is that we have found another hidden pair because one of these has to be 2 and one of these has to be 3. So again, that removes anything else we thought could have been in there. Easiest way to kind of determine that is we can finish this row, we can finish this box. Let's start with the box. And by finish, I mean, what are the 3 digits that aren't 2, 3? That's what's going to end up here. We need the 1, 5, 7. I am not seeing any restrictions. Oh, there is the 7 that I missed. Ooh, that's kind of nice. All right. So we have the 1, 5, 7. The 7 is actually limited to these 2, which is going to point. And then this is also 1, 5, 7, interestingly. So that's not 5, that's not 1. And so we know the 7's up here. And then we actually have this 1, 5 pair as well. in the row. So this eliminates 1 and 5 from the rest of the row, because one of these will be 1, one of these will be 5. That removes 5 from any cells seen by both. And so we need a 2, 4, 9 here, which does clean up a little, but not too much. And so then remaining here, because they can't be 7, we do need a 1. They can't be 2, 3, 4. They could be 5. They can't be 6, 7. They could be 8. Okay, so it's 1, 5, 8, and this one's not a 5. So this top band just kind of has been reduced to some simple markings. Just need some stuff poking in from below to finish that. All right, and I'm not seeing anything specifically interesting to follow up on yet. It's unlikely that I'll need these 7s corner marks, so let's just leave it clean up here. Let's move on to, what was I looking at? Yeah, I was looking at this box for geometry. I'm still on my geometry pass, but I'm kind of doing some buddies at the same time. But let's just see if we can notice any more geometry, or if we're done with that. I mean, this box here, what we want to do is we want to look for anything looking through here or looking through here that isn't already placed. Unfortunately, we only have 6s and 9s, which are already placed in the box. So we'll hold off on that. We'll come back. We already looked for stuff looking through here. How about stuff looking through here? Because that would be placed up here, but it's just the 1 and the 6. It's already placed. The 5 and the 6, what we'd want to look for is anything up here that matches anything here. Because we have this pattern right here, where we can look through this hole. Unfortunately, let's see. So 6 is already placed in the box, so we don't care about 6s. And 3 doesn't match 5, 7. So we don't, and in fact, 5's already in the box too. So unfortunately, we don't really get anything out of that. There's also a hole here between the 1 and the 5, so it would be the 7 only. But again, it's kind of the same thing. We don't have a 7 helping. We would need a 7 here or here. All right, and this 6 doesn't do anything. Yeah, 6s are done, so we don't really have to worry about 6s. They're kind of interfering with geometry scans because we've placed them all, so they're not helping all that much. All right, well, let's just scan this band. Make sure I didn't miss any like buddy stuff, because I wasn't really looking for buddies. So 9's in one of these two. 4 and 6. The 6. Yeah, I mean, let's ignore 6s if I can remember. So what does this box need? It's down to 4 digits. Always good to think about that. We need 3, 4, 5, 7. So we know this isn't 4. It's 3, 5, 7. Oopsie. It's 3, 5, 7. 3, 4, 5, 7. I mean, there really isn't a restriction here. This isn't 4 either. So actually the 4 is one of these two. We could mark that. But otherwise, I'm not really seeing anything helpful. Okay, so how about this last band here? So ignoring 6s, we do have the 5s. That does put a 5 in one of these two. And of course, we want to ask where 5 goes in this column, but there are 4 places for it. And then the 1s also have a buddy. That puts a 1 in one of these two. All right. So yeah, we didn't get a whole lot more out of normal scans here. So do we have any low-hanging fruit? Low-hanging fruit is rows, columns, boxes with 4 or fewer open cells. So we don't have to worry about this top band. It's going to have to be taken care of from below. So I'm just looking at rows here, and all of them are quite open. Looking at columns now. No, we don't really have any good columns, and I don't think I missed any. Oh, I did miss a box, actually, this one. So what does this box need? It needs a 2, 4, 8, 9. So we know these aren't 4, so this is 2, 8, 9. Oh, and actually that does create a 2, 8, 9 triple in the column. Let me explain this. Every video where I don't explain it, I get a comment asking for clarification, or accusing me of doing it wrong. Anyway, this is not wrong. The logic is perfectly sound here, and this is a naked triple. So what do I mean by that? Well, we have penciled what each of these green cells can be based on just Sudoku rules, right? This can only be a 2 or a 9. This can only be 2, 8, or 9, and this can only be 2, 8, or 9. You can check that they can't be any other digit just because, you've got the 1 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5, 6, 7, all seeing, these cells in some independent way. We have this 1, 5 pair helping quite a bit. So these are just down to what I have center marked. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and it should have a very easy, obvious answer. How many distinct digits do I need? How many different digits do I need in order to fill each of these green cells with a value? Well, the first thing we want to notice is that they do share a column. They're all in column 2. And within a column, within a row, column, and box, you cannot repeat any digits. You need to place 1 to 9 exactly once each. And so if we can't repeat any digits, I need 3 digits. I need 1 per cell. 3 cells, I need 3 digits. Okay. So if I was going to try to not use, say, the 2, would that be possible? So if I were to say, hey, don't use the 2, fill these out with 3 different digits, but don't use the 2. Well, the answer is no. I couldn't do it. I'd have an 8 and a 9, but one of them would have no options. We'd break the puzzle. We could do 8, 9 like that. We could do 9 and 8 like that. We could do, I don't know, 9 and 8 like that. But no matter how we do it, I mean, there's only 2 digits for 3 cells. We're not going to be able to do that. I'm sorry. I have to undo all that. So we can't omit the 2. All right, well, can I omit the 8? No, I can't omit the 8. If I omit the 8, I only have 2 and 9 to spread across them. So, the moral of the story is I need to use 3 different digits, and the only 3 different digits at all available in the green cells are 2, 8, and 9. So I'm going to use up the 2, 8, and 9 completely. There is no way for me to avoid that. One of these will be 2, one of these will be 8, one of these will be 9. Yes, we know this one won't be the 8. That just limits the order they're going to go in, but they will use the 2, 8, and 9. They'll use up the 2, 8, and 9. In fact, the 8s, you can see from this logic, we know the 8's going to end up in one of these 2 cells, which actually does tell us the 8 can't be here, but we'll go over that in a second. And so if these are going to use the 2, 8, and 9 in some order, the rest of the column, which can't repeat digits with green cells, cannot be 2, 8, or 9. It eliminates the 2, 8, and 9 from the rest of the column. Now, there's always a flip side to nakeds, which is the hidden. So we could also say that these 3 cells are a hidden triple. These purple cells, the other 3 that aren't placed in the column, are a hidden triple. And what I mean by that is we need to place the 1, 3, and 5 somewhere in the column, and the 1, 3, and 5 cannot go in the green cells. This cell can't be 1, 3, and 5. We have the 1, 5 pair plus this 3, and these cells can't be 1, 3, 5 because there's a 1, 3, 5 in the box. So if I need to put 1, 3, 5 in this column, they're going to end up in the purple cells, and that's going to eliminate anything else that could have been in there, which unsurprisingly is the 2, 8, and 9. So either way, you can use the hidden triple or you can use the naked triple. I spotted the naked triple. Whichever one you spot, the consequence is the same, which is that 2, 8, and 9 are removed from these 3 cells. So that's not an 8, and then these are down to 1, 3, 5, and that's not a 1. All right, hopefully that is crystal clear now. But if you do have questions, I am happy to field them. All right. So what we have done is we've eliminated 2, 8, and 9 from these 3 cells. And what that's done is in this box, there's now only one place for 8, which is right here. So we can place this 8. Can we follow up on the 8? Kind of. Yeah, because these can't be 8 because of the 2, 8, 9 triple. And then this 8 looks down and this 8 looks in. That places the 8 in this box. And that actually makes this a naked 3, and that makes that 5, 1, and 3. So we have resolved our 1, 3, 5 hidden triple. This is 7 and 5 now. We get the 1 and the 5, and we get the 1. We don't get to finish this 5, 7 pair. That can't be 3 anymore. This is now only a 9, and that's an 8. We can place the 1 for the box, only place in the box for 1. The corner marks are telling us that, right? There was only 1 corner mark left of 1 in this whole box, and so it has to be the 1. That's one of the big advantages of corner marking early. This column is down to 2, 4, and 7. We know this can't be 7 and this can't be 7. So the 7 has to end up here. And then this is 2 or 4. And so this is 2, 4, 9. I don't think it sees any of those. All right, we'll just pencil that. 2 digits left here, 1 and 2. This 2 tells us the order. That's 1, that's 2. Okay, that can't be 2 anymore, and that can't be 2 anymore. Very nice. I don't think I need these. Actually, the 4 is point, but I don't need the 8's corner mark. They don't tell us anything we don't already know. All right. So we just got a whole lot of stuff. Did we finish the 8s yet? No, but I think we can get close, if not finish. That's an 8. I think we should be able to finish the 8s. Yeah, our final 8's in this box, which is right there. All right. This row is down to 4, 5, 7. This can't be the 5, so it's 4, 7. And this is 4, 5, 7. But what that means for this row is we can say, where does the 5 go in this row? Well, it's not in any of these cells. These aren't 5. And this can't be a 5 because of the 5 here. So the row is going to place a 5, and it's going to be in this cell or this cell. So I can corner mark that because they're in the same box. But even more so, that does what's called claiming, where I can say, well, if row 4 here is going to place a 5 in this cell or this cell, one of these two I've highlighted, wherever it places the 5, that is going to be, coincidentally, also in box 6 here. So if it's going to be in box 6, I can't repeat the 5 in box 6. So we can eliminate 5 from these two cells. Now, another way you can think about that, I don't recommend thinking about it this way. I don't like thinking about things as contradictions, but I can prove to you that this can't be a 5 through contradiction by saying, well, if it was a 5, guess what? Now there's nowhere for 5 in this row. I can't put it here or here because it would repeat in the box, and this can't be 5. So if you were unclear whether that logic was sound, we can look at it in the reverse direction through contradiction. But I mean, the more direct method is better because we can see all the eliminations at once. This isn't 5, this isn't 5. So that's a 3. And now if you remember, 5 could only have been here last time we looked. Like 5 can't go here. And now 5 can't go here. Actually, there was already 5 in the row, but the 5s claimed it too. And so there's only one place for 5 in the column. So that's 5 and that's 7. So this is 4, 7 only. And this is also, oh, this can't be 7. So this is 4, that's 7, that's 5, that's 4, that's 7. I think we've cracked the puzzle. That's a 5. I don't see how it's going to hold on. This 3 gives us the 2 and the 3 and the 2. The 2 comes back around, finishing the triple in our box. This 3 emits confetti just because of a meme about 3s in the corner. These are 1, 2, 4, 5. So the 5 is placed. The 1 is now placed. And we need 2 and 4, which is not placed yet. I'm going to think about this triple, actually. We need a 3, 7, 9. Oops, 3, 7, 9. So this can't be 3 or 9. So this is our 7. Leaving a 3, 9 pair behind. This is finished for the row. It's a 4, giving us 2 and 4. And we just have 4 digits left for this box. I want to think about the ones that aren't 3, 9, because we know those are placed. So the 2 should be placed. And then the 7 should be placed. Yeah, and then the rest are 3, 9. And we know the order. That's 9, that's 3, that's 3, that's 9, and we're done. Alrighty. Interesting puzzle. I don't think it was too bad. Just paying attention to the geometry that I did at the beginning cracked most of the puzzle. And then I guess, I don't know, finding the triple in this column, whether it was the naked or the hidden triple, kind of finished it. So that may have been an important thing to notice. I forget which digits were involved. I know it was 3, 8, 9 here, I believe. Or was it 2, 8, 9? I don't know. It was 3, 8, 9 here, and then 1, 2, 5. I don't I can't remember. I think it was those. Anyway, let me know how you did. If you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.